She stood in the hallway, holding a teacup she hadn't touched in years. All around her, shelves full of memories, forgotten gadgets, and too much. Everything. Her body was tired. Her mind, even more so. Where do I even begin? She whispered. Sound familiar? If you're over 60 and feeling overwhelmed by clutter, but too exhausted to tackle it, this video is for you. Hi, I'm Henry, and here on Wise Aging Seniors, we help you reclaim your space, energy, and peace of mind with practical, no-pressure tips designed just for life after 60. You don't need to overhaul your whole house. You don't need to feel guilty. You just need a starting point, and that's exactly what you'll get today. In the next few minutes, I'll walk you through 9 small but powerful steps that anyone can take, even on your most tired days. These aren't just cleaning tips, they're tools to help you feel lighter, freer, and more in control. So take a breath, grab a cup of tea if you'd like, and let's begin, one small step at a time. Step 1, tell yourself the truth, gently. She sat in a sunlit corner of her living room, staring at a sewing machine tucked beneath a sheet. It had been years, maybe 10, since she last used it. Once, it brought her joy, making dresses for her daughter, stitching curtains with her own 2 hands. But time passed. Her hands grew tired. The machine gathered dust. Still, she held onto it. Maybe one day, she'd say. But deep down, she knew, that day wasn't coming. And one morning, something shifted. She ran her fingers across the fabric cover, took a deep breath, and whispered, "It's okay to let this go." That moment wasn't about the machine. It was about permission. Permission to release the version of herself she used to be. Permission to stop holding on out of guilt or habit. Permission to make space for the life she was living now. And that's where real decluttering begins, not with boxes or bins, but with truth. Gentle, honest truth. Ask yourself, am I holding on to this because it serves me, or because I'm afraid to let go? Does this item reflect who I am today, or just who I used to be? No judgment. Just curiosity. Just honesty. You see, our homes are often filled with stories, old hobbies, gifts, past roles. A bread maker from when you entertained more. Craft supplies from when your hands were steadier. Books you meant to read but never did. Holding on to these things can quietly weigh us down. And science backs this up. When we hold on to items that no longer serve us, we create mental clutter, too. Studies show that decision fatigue and emotional attachment to objects can cloud our focus and increase stress, especially in later years, when clarity and calm are so precious. But here's the good news, letting go doesn't erase who you were. It honors that part of your journey, while making room for ease, space, and who you are becoming now. So today, I invite you to find just one item, just one, that no longer reflects your life. Hold it. Breathe. Say, thank you. Then, if you're ready, let it go. This is how you begin, gently. With honesty. With care. With kindness for yourself. Because decluttering after 60 isn't about getting rid of things. It's about coming back to what really matters. Step 2, pick just one spot. He stood at the edge of his garage, arms crossed, staring into a sea of boxes and forgotten tools. The sight alone was exhausting. So much to do. So many decisions. He turned off the light and walked back inside, overwhelmed before he even began. Later that day, he tried something different. Not the garage. Not the attic. Just his nightstand. One drawer. Inside were old receipts, a broken flashlight, a pair of glasses he hadn't worn in years, and a dusty notepad from the early 2000s. He sat down, set a timer for 15 minutes, and began. One item at a time, one decision at a time. When the timer went off, the drawer was clean. Clear. Simple. And for the first time in months, he felt lighter. That drawer wasn't just a drawer. It was a turning point. You see, the biggest reason many of us struggle to declutter isn't laziness, it's the size of the task. The attic. The closet. The garage. These are big spaces with big emotions. Memories are buried there. So is fatigue. But one drawer? One shelf? That's something you can do today. Even if your energy is low. Even if your motivation isn't strong. Even if you don't know where to start. And here's the beautiful thing, small wins build momentum. Psychologists call it the success spiral. When you accomplish a small, manageable goal, your brain rewards you with a sense of satisfaction. That boost in confidence makes it easier to tackle the next thing. And the next. You don't have to climb the whole mountain today. Just take the first step. Maybe it's the kitchen junk drawer. Maybe it's a side table. Maybe it's just that one overflowing basket by the door. Set a timer for 10 or 15 minutes. Commit only to that. Don't think about the next drawer. Don't worry about the rest of the house. Just focus on the spot in front of you. Decluttering isn't a race. It's a rhythm. A gentle one. And starting small isn't a sign of weakness, it's a strategy that works, especially after 60, when our time and energy are more precious than ever. So take a deep breath. Pick one spot. Just one. Clear it, breathe, and enjoy that little wave of peace. You're already on your way. Step 3. Use the 2-question rule. She stood in front of her bookshelf, fingertips grazing the spines of novels and cookbooks she hadn't opened in years. Some were gifts. Some were from a chapter of her life that felt far away now. A part of her didn't want to part with them, after all, they were hers. But something inside her whispered, you can't keep everything. So she paused, took a breath, and asked herself 2 simple questions. Do I love it? Do I use it? If the answer was no to both, she let it go. Not with regret, but with relief. You see, one of the hardest parts of decluttering isn't the physical act, it's the emotional weight behind the decisions. We second guess. We hold on just in case. We attach memories to things. And before we know it, we're frozen by indecision. That's where the 2-question rule becomes your secret weapon. When you hold an object, an old kitchen tool, a decorative pillow, a stack of greeting cards, just ask, do I love this? Do I use this? If you answer yes to either, it stays. It serves a purpose or it brings you joy. If the answer is no to both, it's probably time to let it go. No need to overthink. No need to dig through old emotions. These 2 questions give you clarity, right in the moment. And it's not just a clever trick, there's science behind it. Researchers say that having clear decision-making rules reduces what's known as cognitive load. That's the mental exhaustion we feel when we're faced with too many choices, especially ones that carry emotion or memory. As we age, our brains naturally process decisions more slowly, so simplifying how we make those decisions is key to avoiding stress and burnout. So whether you're going through a drawer, a closet, or even a pile of paper, try it. Do I love it? Do I use it? If not, bless it, thank it, and release it. This isn't about getting rid of things just to be minimal. It's about filling your space with items that reflect who you are now, not just who you were. Decluttering isn't about loss, it's about intention. And these 2 questions help you make every decision with purpose. You don't have to feel overwhelmed. You just need a compass. And now, you have one. Step 4, the 10-minute timer trick. He stood at the doorway of the so-called junk room. Once a guest room, it had become a catch-all for things he didn't know what to do with, boxes of paperwork, dusty decorations, tools he hadn't touched in years. Every time he thought about cleaning it, the same feeling washed over him, too much. So he made a deal with himself. Just 10 minutes, he whispered. No more. No less. He set a kitchen timer. Picked up one box. Sorted what he could. When the timer rang, he stopped. The next day, he did it again. And again. He didn't rush. He didn't aim for perfection. And over a few weeks, the cluttered junk room slowly transformed into a space where he could breathe. Where sunlight touched the floor again. Where peace began to return. That's the power of the 10-minute timer trick. When you're over 60, your energy doesn't always match your intentions. Some days are better than others. But consistency beats intensity, especially when you're dealing with years of built-up clutter. Instead of waiting for the right day or trying to do it all at once, shrink the task down. 10 minutes. That's it. Set a timer. Choose a drawer, a shelf, or a box. When the time's up, stop, even if you're not done. Why? Because small, time-limited tasks feel doable. They don't overwhelm your nervous system. They don't drain your energy. They give you a sense of control. And according to behavioral science, When a task feels achievable, your brain is more likely to engage with it. It builds a loop of action and reward. You feel successful, and that success keeps you going. Even better, setting limits prevents burnout. Seniors often push themselves too hard on productive days, only to feel sore, tired, or discouraged the next. This approach respects your rhythm. It honors your energy. And over time, those 10-minute sessions add up, just like steady drops fill a bucket. So the next time you catch yourself thinking, I can't do this, respond with, I'll do 10 minutes. Not perfection. Not a massive clean-out. Just 10 minutes. Just today. You'll be amazed at what begins to shift, both in your home and in your heart. Step 5. Create a peace zone. She didn't start with the whole house. That felt impossible. So instead, she chose a single corner of her living room, one chair, a small table, a soft lamp, and a framed photo of someone she loved. No papers. No clutter. Just peace. Each morning, she'd sit there with her tea. And for those few minutes, life felt quiet. Still. Safe. That space became her sanctuary. When we're surrounded by clutter, it's not just physical, it's emotional. Our eyes scan the piles, and our brain gets flooded with little stress signals. I need to deal with that. I forgot about this. I should organize that. But imagine one spot in your home where your eyes can rest. A chair that isn't buried. A table that isn't stacked. A space that's clear, simple, and yours. That's your peace zone. It doesn't have to be a full room. In fact, it's better if it's small. A cozy chair by a window. A tidy nightstand next to your bed. Even just a small section of the kitchen counter where the coffee sits ready each morning. This isn't about making your home perfect, it's about creating a pause. A physical cue that says, you're okay here. And the benefits are real. According to mental health experts, clutter-free zones reduce anxiety and help regulate your nervous system. For seniors especially, having a predictable, calm space improves daily routines and even supports better sleep. Why does this work? Because your environment talks to your brain. When one part of your home feels peaceful, it tells your mind, you're not behind. You're not failing. You're safe here. And here's the beauty, this small act creates momentum. Once your peace zone is set, it becomes your anchor. A reminder that change is possible, even when life feels overwhelming. It's the space that holds you together on the hard days and celebrates with you on the good ones. So, take a walk around your home. Find that one spot that could be your retreat. Clear it. Keep it sacred. And return to it often. You deserve a place that gives back to you, a place of calm in the middle of the chaos. Let that space remind you, peace is possible, even in small corners. Step 6. Sort as you go. The basket system. He used to stare at piles, papers, tools, random cords, and freeze. I don't even know where to start, he'd mutter. The decisions felt too heavy. Too many memories. Too many what ifs. Then he tried something different. Each weekend, he grabbed 3 baskets. One marked keep. One marked donate. One marked toss. He'd walk through the house, not to judge himself or fix everything, but simply to sort. One broken lamp? Toss. A winter coat he hadn't worn in 5 years? Donate. His favorite mug? Keep. It took 30 minutes. That was it. But in that half hour, he made decisions that had weighed on him for years. That's the magic of the basket system. When you declutter without a plan, your brain gets overwhelmed by choice. Every item becomes a debate. But when you have clear categories, something shifts. You move from stuck to sorted. It gives your brain a map. And here's the powerful part, this system isn't just practical, it's backed by psychology. Experts say that when we categorize decisions, we reduce what's called decision fatigue, that mental exhaustion that builds when you have to make too many choices without guidance. Seniors, especially, benefit from simplified systems that cut through emotional noise. So how do you do it? Keep it simple. Find 3 boxes, bins, or laundry baskets. Label them, keep, things you use regularly or truly love. Donate, items in good condition that no longer serve you. Toss, broken, expired, or useless items. Then once or twice a week, take a short stroll through a single room. Don't overthink. Trust your gut. Place items in their baskets, and leave it at that. You don't have to finish the whole house. You just have to keep sorting. Over time, this turns decluttering from a mountain into a habit. It becomes part of your rhythm, not a special event you dread. And as those baskets fill up, so will your sense of freedom. You'll look around and realize, you're not holding on to the weight of things you don't need anymore. You're making space for what matters now. Because decluttering isn't just about getting rid of stuff. It's about reclaiming peace, decision by decision, basket by basket. Step 7. Don't declutter alone. You'd been putting it off for months. A hallway closet. A patchwork of old jackets, boxes of who knows what, and linens from a life that felt like another lifetime. Every time she opened it, she sighed, closed it again, and walked away. Then one Sunday, she made a different choice. She called her niece. "Come over for tea," she said. "And maybe help me with this closet." Her niece arrived with muffins, gentle energy, and no judgment. They brewed tea, sat cross-legged on the floor, and opened the closet door. One by one, they pulled out the contents. They laughed at an old pair of disco shoes. They paused over a faded letter. They filled 3 bags, some to donate, some to toss, some filled with stories worth telling. And in those quiet, shared hours, what she feared would be hard became something entirely different: healing. Because sometimes, the weight isn't in the clutter, it's in facing it alone. Decluttering doesn't have to be a solo mission. In fact, it shouldn't be. Sharing the process brings support, energy, and perspective. Another person can ask, "Do you really need this?" With love, not criticism. They can listen to the memories behind the object, and gently help you decide whether to hold on or let go. And science agrees. Studies in behavioral psychology show that social support reduces mental fatigue and increases follow-through. When we work with someone, we feel more capable, less stressed, and even enjoy tasks we would otherwise avoid. So what does this look like for you? It might mean asking a grandchild to help sort the garage. Or inviting a neighbor to tackle the kitchen cabinets together. Or turning decluttering into a donation tea party with your best friend. It's not about speed. It's about shared presence. And you don't need to be embarrassed. Your life is rich, and richness comes with things. Let the people who love you help you honor it all, the letting go, the keeping, the remembering. Because in the end, the goal isn't just a cleaner space. It's a lighter heart. And sometimes, all it takes is one good conversation over a cup of tea. Step 8. Make peace with the past. He sat on the floor, a faded cardboard box beside him. Inside, bundles of old letters, yellowed with time. A photo album with edges worn soft. A ticket stub from a long-ago concert. A napkin with a scribbled "I love you." He hadn't opened that box in years. Piece by piece, he lifted each memory. A smile here. A tear there. Moments that once defined his world, now soft echoes of what once was. He didn't rush. Instead, he whispered, "Thank you. Thank you. For the love. Thank you. For the lessons. Thank you. For the life I've lived." And when he was done, he kept one letter. Just one. The rest, he gently released. Because sometimes, peace comes not from holding on, but from letting go with gratitude. Decluttering after 60 isn't just about physical items. It's about our relationship with the past. We don't just see old objects, we feel the people, the seasons, the versions of ourselves attached to them. That's why it's hard. But here's the truth, letting go doesn't mean forgetting. It means choosing which pieces of your story still serve your soul today. It's okay to keep the photo but not the whole box. It's okay to save one recipe card and pass the rest along. It's okay to say, "This mattered, but it no longer needs to take up space in my home." Psychologists call this integrative reflection, the ability to look back, honor your experiences, and choose how they live on. For seniors, this process can bring healing, closure, and renewed clarity. So if you find yourself clinging to objects from a past life, pause. Sit with them. Feel the feelings. Thank the memories. Then ask, what do I want to carry forward? You may be surprised how freeing the answer feels. Because decluttering isn't about erasing the past. It's about respecting it enough to decide what truly belongs in your present. So open that box. Let yourself remember. Then make space for who you are now, and for all the beautiful moments still to come. Step 9. Celebrate every small win she had tried before. Decluttering. Organizing. Starting fresh. But it always felt like an invisible mountain, so tall, so tiring, she never saw how far she'd come. Until she did one simple thing. She bought a sheet of gold star stickers. And every time she cleared a drawer, sorted a shelf, or filled a donation bag, she added one little star to her calendar. One by one, those gold dots lined the pages. A glimmering trail of progress. After a month, she looked back and smiled, not because everything was done, but because she could see how far she'd come. That changed everything. Because when you're over 60, starting something new, or finally finishing something old, can feel overwhelming. Especially when your energy is low, or the results aren't dramatic. That's why it's so important to celebrate small wins. Every cleared corner. Every decision to let go. Every 10-minute session you show up for. It all counts. Behavioral science calls this positive reinforcement, the practice of rewarding yourself for progress to strengthen the habit. But for seniors, it's even more than that. It's a form of self-respect. A way to say, I did something today that honored my peace. And it doesn't have to be gold stars. Maybe it's a checkmark on a notepad. A quick journal entry. A short voice message to your son saying, I finally cleared that drawer. Maybe it's simply sitting in your new peace zone with a cup of tea and telling yourself, I'm proud of me. Because you should be proud. Decluttering is not just cleaning, it's emotional work. It's reclaiming space. Rewriting your relationship with your past. It's showing yourself that, even now, you can still change your story, one shelf, one moment, one small win at a time. So let yourself see the progress. Mark it. Celebrate it. Let it build you up. Because small wins, when honored, become big victories over time. And you, dear listener, are worth every single one. This isn't just about cleaning up. It's about choosing what still matters. After 60, your time and energy are precious, and your space should reflect that. Light, clear, peaceful. As you declutter, you're not just organizing your home, you're making room for what truly nourishes you. The clutter of the past doesn't have to weigh you down, it can be released, gently, to make space for a simpler, more meaningful life. Which step spoke to you the most? Is it starting small with a single drawer, or maybe inviting a loved one to help? Or perhaps it's the idea of making peace with the past? Whatever it is, I'd love to hear from you. Share your thoughts and your own decluttering experiences in the comments below, I read every one. And if this video gave you some inspiration or comfort, don't forget to hit like and subscribe for more simple, heartfelt advice from wise aging seniors. We're here to help you make your home a reflection of the life you're still living, a life of peace, purpose, and joy. You're not alone on this journey, we're in it together.